I am sick. So if you hear a lot of sniffling, and I'm going to edit out all the coughing and stuff, but if I sound weird, it's because of that. So it's all fine. It's nothing like major, it's just a cold. But I had this idea popping around in my brain just this morning, and I was like, let me just talk about it with you guys and see what you all think. So I'm just going to play with some cards and talk about some things. So I think this year, what I want to focus on kind of is actually simplifying my practice, because I feel like things have gotten a little bit complicated and like overly complicated for no reason. I love the Celtic Cross, but I think that at this time in my life, it's giving me a little bit too much. And I didn't think that's something that I would say. I just feel like instead of focusing on the cards or the monthly card that I have, I focus all of my attention and energy on the Celtic Cross spread that I do. And that actually brings my focus to the key card instead of the card that I should be focusing on, which is the month card or the first card that I use for the reading. So, like this month, I did my Celtic Cross. The key card is the Two of Earth, when the card that I should be focusing on is the Ten of Earth. And I just think that sometimes my readings get a little bit bogged down with the amount of cards and spread positions and all of that stuff. So I want to start looking at tarot single card by single card and just kind of focusing on that and zooming in instead of zooming out so much, because I feel like that's what I do, because I zoom out and try and see the whole reading as a whole single thing. And I think what will be more important now is looking at one single card and finding the details in them and getting my answers from a single card instead of a full big reading. I think that I spend so much time and energy looking at the whole reading. The reason I want to do this is because I feel like it's going to help me to slow down and be much more intentional with my practice. Because I feel like right now I am so quick with stuff. I just want things instantly. I want things very fast. I want to know what the reading is about immediately when I get the cards. And I think when I'm given big spreads like the Celtic Cross, I can find certain cards to make meanings right then and there. But it's also like the reading is big, so it feels kind of daunting, and I don't want to. It makes me hesitate to like return to the reading and like actually analyze and look through it. I don't really end up returning to the readings, and I will reflect on the month and see like where the cards are, but I don't know, I don't do anything aside from that. And I kind of want to make my practice more, I don't know, more. That's all I want. I want my practice to be more than it is right now. And I think instead of relying on the Celtic Cross and the set spread positions and stuff like that to help me decipher what everything's going to be about, instead I want to look at the single card and dive into the book, especially for the Herb Crafter's Tarot. I want to dive into the book for this and just, I don't know, connect with the card for a month and just see where that takes me. So let's try it this month together. Hang on, if I can find it. My card for this month is the Ten of Earth. I've been really loving this dragon deck. I've been playing with this a lot lately. Just like, I haven't done very many readings with it recently, but I love the cards. So I've been feeling really drawn back to it again. And I think that is good and that I will continue to it. But I want to be intentional with this card. I did my Celtic Cross reading already, but I think I'm not going to look at that, or I'm going to try my best not to pay too much attention to it. And I'm just going to look at this card. I keep it out on my altar all month, and it doesn't really do much when the cards aren't big, scary cards. Like the Tower was my card for last month, and that was the card that I focused on for the entirety of the month, especially like even kind of excluding my Celtic Cross. Like I did the Celtic Cross, but my focus was the Tower. And I feel like when I have cards like this where it's minor arcana, it's something I don't focus on, something I don't like. I focus more on the cards around it. Like I got some major arcana in my Celtic Cross reading this month, and that is what I focus on. That's what my brain is going to, but I want to bring my focus back to the single card. I'm going to stop doing my Celtic Cross in the future. So February will be my first month just going on the one card that I chose around my birthday for this stuff. I want to dive into the book right now, but let's first look at the card. So there's a couple things that I remember from the book, I think, or maybe I'm just, pulling this out of my butt, but the like complexity of the baskets gets more and more the further along in the minor arcana you get. So this is the like most complex of the basket weaving, because the earth suit is the one of like weaving and baskets and stuff like that. And looking at this card, this was one card that always kind of confused me. So I'm glad that I'm doing this now and like giving it the time and attention that I think it deserves. But looking at this card, you see this beautiful, intricate basket. You have all of these like little stalks or like collections of horsetail, but also there's the immense abundance of the whole like forest floor is covered in horsetail. So it's not like you're taking more than the environment can handle. And you're probably doing even better is taking some away so that there's more room on the ground for other plants to flourish and other like younger horsetail to grow. I think this month this card is asking me to recognize where I have abundance and really focus on gratitude, I think, and being grateful for all that I have, and also looking back and realizing how far I've come from the beginning, because at the beginning of this suit, the baskets are new, they're inexperienced, they're very simple. And I think with this intensely decorated, beautiful basket, it's asking me to recognize the parts of my life where I am here. And I think when you progress in skills, you sometimes focus so much on what you're struggling on and how hard it is for you right now when you're going through a challenging part of that either hobby or like job or whatever, that you forget how far you've come and you forget to look back. And I think that this card is asking me to look back too and remember how far I've come. Acknowledge, be intentional, be aware of how far I've come this year, well, in 2023, how much I've grown. Because I feel like when I think about things on a regular basis and all I'm doing is looking forward, and I'm like, oh, like, I wish I was here. I wish I was doing this. I wish this was like what I was doing. Like, it makes me feel so down about myself that I forget to acknowledge all of the stuff that I've done, all of the growth and progress that I've made to get where I am currently. I think that's going to be the big takeaway of this month, is being intentional, looking back and seeing how much I've grown, and reminding myself of that when I start to feel hopeless or stressed or nervous about just life things. Yeah. So I also want to do something quickly now. I want to look at the book and see if there's any quick wisdom that we can get from it at the moment. This already has been a huge shift in the way I view this card. Just thinking about looking back is not something that feels natural to me. So being reminded, having a card that reminds me to do that is really interesting and nice. Okay, I pulled up the book. I'm just going to read this and I'll kind of point out what is calling my attention. Find strength deep within, love that. The wisdom of the elders takes root in the bones of the youth. You are safe and secure, I love that. You are a well-established member of your community. Know your work supports and sustains others. I love that. Pause and connect often with all you have been given. That's exactly what I was talking about. Pause and connect often with all you've been given. That's talking about looking back. First of all, it's telling me to slow down and look really in depth at things. That's exactly what I'm trying to do this month with this card and with this new like monthly connection readings. This all has taken place before. I kind of like that. Mindfully gather from resources that have carried generations. I like that. I'm mindful. There's a lot of things about being intentional. We've got mindful. There's pause and connection. Just lots of things that feel exactly like what I was talking about. The future can build on the strengths of the past. The past. Looking back and getting that security of selfhood, security of the self, securing the idea and the image of yourself in the past and how much you've accomplished in order to push through the uncertainty, the insecurity of the future. Make a gratitude offering. That's exactly what I was thinking about. Yeah. So all of that is just confirming exactly what I was talking about. The gratitude, I have a gratitude journal. I want to start really taking the time to fill it out every day. So I think main takeaways from this card right now are recognize and give yourself credit for the accomplishments that you have done, created, gotten through in the past that have gotten you to where you are right now. Try and stay present in the moment by being more grateful for all of the things. This month is one, I think, of slowing down, looking back, and being grateful and open in just lots of things. I think this was a great card to start this off on, especially considering it was one that I was like really confused about before and just didn't feel like it resonated with me. So this is like the perfect connection. This is so wild. So yeah, I think going forward, just to reiterate, because I feel like I'm kind of all over the place, just to reiterate, going forward, I think I'm going to pause my Celtic Cross readings for the month ahead and just focus on the single card that I pulled from tarot. because my month ahead readings have gotten so stretched out and convoluted. I did my Celtic Cross, and then I would take the key card from the Celtic Cross and do a 5-card reading from that. So there was just way too much thinking about, and it just bogged my brain down instead of helping me to really focus on the card that was given to me that I chose, obviously. So no more Celtic Cross, no more reporter spread with the key card. Instead, we are spending, look at that, she got it all wet. Instead, we are spending, I am spending my energy on just the single card that I was given, that I chose for the month, and just spend all my time thinking about that, working through that, and understanding, recognizing what it is that the card is trying to give me, what information, what wisdom the card's trying to give me. Because I think with my Celtic Cross spreads lately, I got so much out of them in the past, but I feel like it's become routine, and it's become really like going through the motions, autopilot almost, that I don't feel like I get deep meaning from it anymore. And switching things up, slowing things down, forcing myself to focus on a single card, which is something that I constantly struggle with. Slowing myself down and looking at just one card and digesting it in a slower way is really going to help deepen my connection to the tarot and all of that stuff. So, with that, I have to go pet this little girl. But I'm feeling really good about this. I think that this practice is something that I'm excited for, and it's going to be a challenge. It's always a challenge for me to slow down and take my time, but I think this is going to be a really good one. I think this is going to help deepen my connection to the Herb Crafter's Tarot, obviously, and just the way that I do my readings. Hopefully this will help me to slow down in my readings, because I do just speed through stuff and then I never really reflect. I think having one card for the month will help me to look back on them in a longer term thing. Like 6 months, I can look back at this card and see how it set me up for the rest of the months, instead of like getting overwhelmed with all of the spreads that I had to like sift through and read all of the readings and stuff like that. So I am going to go rest now because I'm tired and I'm sick. But I feel really good about this reading. I feel really good about this practice. I'm really excited for this now. And yeah, how is all of your monthly readings and stuff going? What are you guys doing? What are you guys focusing on? Are you expanding and doing more in-depth readings like the Celtic Cross for your month ahead? Or are you in the process of kind of being really intentional and like slowing things down for yourself? Let me know. I'd love to hear what you all are doing for your readings. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. I hope you're all doing well. And I'm so excited to be back, feeling inspired and freaking feeling energized to make videos. And yeah, I will see you all later.